Hello, one and all. Welcome back to Rambling Runoff. Yes, we are back again, as we promised from last week, here to give you the sports news I think you should hear. Yeah, this is Rambling Runoff. I am your host, Robert Rios, and with me, as always, Mr. Danny Tan. Danny, tell the people what's up.
What up? What's going on, y'all?
Yeah, we got an action-packed show for you today. We're going to be going over the MLS playoffs that are about to start. Maybe as of this recording, you might be already watching one or two of the games that are happening. We're also going to go into Danny's NBA Fantasy League. I've promised him many times that we talk about it, and today is the day.
Yeah, I think we talked about it a little bit last year.
I think we teased it. Yeah. We're going to go into deep dive today. Then in the warm-up, we're going to go talk about the MLB playoffs that are in the groove right now. We're almost one game away into the World Series, but basically what we're going to be looking at is the MLB playoffs a bust? Did they need to be restructured? And then, of course, we got the rundown where we talk about whatever other things are happening in the sports world. But yeah, we have a lot of good stuff for you here. And as always, we're going to plug them in now, of course. Go on to X, formerly known as Twitter, at Rambling Runoff, Instagram, Rambling Runoff, and sometimes on TikTok. And yeah, thank you to anybody that's listening right now on Spotify, I was about to say Stitcher, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you're listening to. Thank you. But Danny, do you have anything to tell the people? Do you have anything new to tell us that's happening in your life right now?
Well, not much. I mean, the Fantasy League is probably the biggest thing, but I'll save that to hop in. Yeah, I mean, other than that, not much. Not too much. Yeah, what about you, Robert? What you got going on?
Did you not go to a sporting event the other day?
Oh my god, that is so true. I totally forgot about that. Oh, God, short-term memory. Call me Dory, yeah?
Yes. Also, I was there too, remember? Me and Danny
I
we were lucky enough to go to a soccer game this past weekend.
Robert was able to hook me up.
Yeah, I was like, Danny, you want to come with me to a soccer game? So we got to watch together a soccer game. We got to go see the LA Galaxy play FC Dallas. Unfortunately, FC Dallas beat the Galaxy, but that was okay, Danny. But Danny, can you tell the people how was your first soccer game?
Yeah, my first in-person soccer game. Great. The field is a lot smaller than I thought. It was really fun. Unfortunately, FC Dallas kind of destroyed the Galaxy. Oh well. But it was a really fun game. Great to see it in person. I think to a non-soccer fan, soccer is much better in person. Kind of like baseball. Baseball is horrible to watch on TV. Soccer is a little bit more bearable, but definitely much more enjoyable in person. It was great to see Robert. Saw him on the field. If y'all saw our Instagram story while it was up, you guys saw Robert bullying some kids, sending them back to school. But it was really fun.
I was fortunate enough to be there, but yeah, it was cool. I had a good time. I'm just glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you for the hookup.
No, yeah, of course, man, always. But yeah, I was like, Danny, we gotta go to a soccer game someday, and yeah, this was our chance to do it.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, but since you've been to one game, and although the home team did lose, would you go back to another one?
Yes. What I will say about this one game was that the refs were incredibly one-sided. It was insane. I could not believe that they did not switch off the on-field ref after like the fourth foul call. Literally, I think there was 4 yellow cards all to the Galaxy. When similar slides and tackles were made on both sides and nothing called. No yellow cards issued for FC Dallas. It was crazy.
I feel you on that.
No, it was insane. But yeah, it was really fun. Really fun game. I would definitely go again.
All right. Well, you're going to have to wait until February because that's when the season starts again.
Womp womp. No playoffs.
But that's what we were up to over the weekend. But Dan, are you ready to start the sports rambling?
Yes, sir. Speaking of playoffs, right?
Alrighty, ladies and we got although the LA Galaxy did not make the MLS playoffs, we're going to talk about the playoffs here. Anyway, either way. And yeah, man, I'm ready for the MLS playoffs to go underway. We have a new playoff format, which I'm going to explain really quick. So just to let everybody know, the MLS is split up into 2 conferences, the East and the West. Top 9 teams from each conference qualify. I believe it's the first seeds get a bye, or everyone gets a bye technically. But there is a wild card matchup in which it's a knockout round. And then after the wild card matchups, which is 2 games, we go into a best 2 out of 3 series in the quarterfinal matchups, I believe is what I have down here. Yeah. So it's a best of 3 series. And yeah, the winners of the wild card will go up against the number 1 seed, and then so on. We'll have the best of 3 series. So 16 to 24 games in total is what we could get. There are no ties. There is no aggregate scoring. So basically, after each game, if there's a tie after the first game, they go immediately into penalties, and that's how we'll get a winner for each game. So the matches will be hosted in a home-away home format. So, of course, obviously the higher seed will host, then we'll go to the lower seed, then the higher seed. And then from there, we'll go into the conference semis, which should be 4 games, single game elimination now, hosted by the higher seed. If the score of a conference semifinal game is tied at the end of regulation, there'll be 2 15-minute extra time periods will be added in their entirety. If the score is still tied at the end of 2 extra time periods, the teams will participate in kicks from the penalty spot to determine the winner. Then the conference semifinals winner will advance to the conference finals, in which we will have 2 games, single elimination as well, which the higher seed will host. And then after we get a winner from that, we will have the MLS Cup, which will be hosted by the higher seed winner. And MLS Cup will be December 9th at 4 p.m. Eastern on Apple TV. Danny, did you understand all that?
Yeah, it sounds really similar to the NBA play in where like the bottom side of the league or the division will fight for that last seed, in this case the wild card, and then face the 1 seed.
Yeah, I get you on that. As someone that watches the MLS and has seen multiple different MLS playoff formats, I'm not really liking this one because you don't really hear best out of 3 series in soccer.
Yeah, it's just
especially
one and
in
done.
Internationals. Yeah, one and done, or it's aggregate scoring. So it's 1 home, 1 away. The team with the most goals after both the games is the winner, basically.
Yeah,
which is what they used to do. And then a couple years ago, they changed it to single elimination. So I think it was top 8 teams advance from each conference, and it was just knockout rounds. But I think what happened here is once they signed the Apple TV deal, Apple TV was like, hey, this only lasts like a month. We want it longer. So that's how we got to this very oddly formatted playoff edition of best 3, which they used to do back in the day, by the way, in the MLS. And I think even in the NASL at some point. But, for the MLS, they had to like change it for American audiences to get them into it because they're like, a tie? A what?
Yeah, I was just about to say, too, that this like matchup best of 3 series is very American sports like coded. People don't want to see aggregate scoring. I have to remember the total score, the grouping, and all that stuff. It's very easy to understand, and you just have that. There's 2 numbers on the screen, 2 to 3 or whatever, 2 to 1, whatnot.
Yeah. Cause like, what I was like listening to another soccer podcast, the Cooligans. One of the hosts was saying that like his worry is what we're gonna have is like the best team just either dominate the weaker team, or we're gonna see the weaker team play a team that barely made it into the higher seed and have them like slug it out, and it's gonna be not just 2 but possibly 3 sluggish, not like brutal but like boring games basically.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And yeah, and like it's soccer, it's MLS, it's American. It's the quality isn't there yet for us to have best out of 3. Honestly, we I don't know. I think it's just too much because it's like, all right, here's a wild card knockout game. Oh, and then here's best of 3 series, and then knockout games.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, you're right.
Like here's this like mini tournament.
Yeah,
for
it
you
seems
guys in the middle of nowhere.
Maybe the the objective is what you're saying. Apple TV is just like, this doesn't last long enough. We don't get enough broadcasts out of it. It's not making the broadcast investment worth it for us. We're not setting enough ads to make it make sense.
The thing is, though, you have to buy it. It's on MLS. I mean, Apple TV.
Oh, it
So what's the
doesn't.
point?
It doesn't
I
come.
don't think it's free.
Is it extra, like on top of Apple TV, or
Yeah,
if you
so
get
it's
Apple TV?
and then it's Apple TV, and then you have to get the MLS pass.
Oh, that sucks.
I believe I haven't heard no one say that it's free on Apple TV
Yeah,
yet.
uh,
I would just.
I thought the last time we talked about it. Let me see. I thought if you just get MLS Pass,
You get Apple
can
TV.
you just watch it? Oh, you need Apple TV. I see that.
Well, you have to download the Apple TV app.
Access MLS streaming services and Apple TV will be included.
Yeah, like it's a little confusing. I have not heard anyone say that it's free. Because another thing too, you're alienating the casual audience.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Now you're just gonna get the hardcores. Like, it doesn't make sense. Alright, the teams that didn't make the playoffs, like Austin, Galaxy, Colorado, Toronto, Miami, Inter Miami, who has Messi.
Mhm.
Why are any of those fan bases that okay? Excuse me. Let me restructure the way I was about to say. What I'm trying to say is, like I said, you're alienating the casual viewer, but also the only people that would want to watch are the hardcore fan bases. So if
Yeah.
your team made the playoffs, good job. Unless you're a fan of just one team, you have no business watching any of these games. If you're an MLS fan, this is great. But I'm pretty sure that percentage of people that are MLS fans is smaller than like one team fans. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
So if you're an MLS fan, like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. I can watch all the playoff games. But if you're like a Colorado Rapids fan, and you're disgruntled on not making the playoffs, like, why are you gonna watch this?
yeah, the way that the NBA pass works is, like, especially towards playoffs, like those first or second rounds aren't usually like nationally televised until the weekend or so. So usually they offer a discount on the rest of the pass, like starting like right near the end of the regular season into the playoffs, so that they can get the last kick before everything becomes nationally televised anyway, and they're not able to broadcast those games. But then it brings it back to, you need Apple TV to even watch the games. And that already, I think, excludes a lot of people who are soccer fans who don't have Apple TV or don't want to get Apple TV. And then, like you
Yeah.
said, I think if it's set up the same way as NBA, you could pay for one team or pay more for like the all access pass, but they limit it so that you can't watch your team without like upgrading another tier up. So there's like, if you only want to follow one team and it's your city team, you can't even watch them unless you go to the top tier. You're paying the most amount of money on top of paying Apple TV in this case, which is ridiculous. Unless if there are any internet pirates out there, I'm not saying you should, but there are VPNs that help you get around this issue. But I'm not saying what I am saying, but I am saying it.
No, I get you, man. I get you. But yeah, I mean, the positives of Apple TV, all the games are on one channel. They more or less all start at the same times. There's a whip around coverage show. There's plenty of different documentaries or one-on-ones for each team. And yeah, I mean, oh, and there's no blackouts.
Oh, that's good.
So that's a big plus. So,
Yeah.
Of course, when Lionel Messi came over, like 300,000 people, or I think it might have even been more than that, but I think that's the number off the top of my head, signed up for it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of those people are international, outside of the United States, where we currently are. Like it just makes more sense, because yeah, there was one time I was trying to watch a Galaxy game, and yeah, I was bucked out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is how it feels.
So dumb. Yeah, it's that worst feeling, like before, back in the day, the Lakers used to be for free, Channel 9, broadcast TV.
Yeah.
And then they signed the
On our
first deal
local
with
KCAL 9.
Spectrum. And like majority of the population just like, oh shit, well, Lakers don't exist to me anymore until they eventually get to the playoffs, maybe. So for like majority of the year,
or they're on ESPN or TNT.
yeah, exactly, on like a random Saturday or maybe Christmas Day or something. But you know, like most
well,
people around our area,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or
yeah,
Saturday.
yeah, on TNT and stuff or ESPN.
Yeah.
But
yes.
But if you don't have cable or if you don't have like those things, you have to wait until it gets on like national regular broadcast TV, which is usually the finals or the holidays, you know, random days.
Yeah, it was a struggle. Even for not trying to get too off topic, but like for the Dodgers as well.
Yeah.
I think I saw for like a while they were missing at least 60%. They did a poll, like there was a big poll taken. There was like at least 60% of Dodger fans did not have Spectrum.
Yeah, it's insane, and they're exclusive to there. Wow. You can't watch any of the games. Yeah, it's crazy.
Same thing happened with the G's too. They used to do a lot of coverage for them, and then one day they just stopped because I think that no one was watching. They weren't watching any of those specials. But yeah. I do remember before all the teams moved to MLS, Apple TV, the Galaxy were getting like $5 million from Spectrum every season.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a big deal at the time. But we're not talking about basketball or baseball right now. We're talking about the MLS playoffs.
Yeah, sorry.
The
get
MLS
off topic.
Playoffs. That's all good. But let's pivot into the next portion of the playoffs where we kind of go over who's who and who's getting down and dirty in the playoffs. So I mentioned it earlier. We have the wild card round, which will be taking Wednesday, October 25th, which is where you maybe already be listening to this. The New York Red Bulls will be facing Charlotte FC at Red Bull Arena at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Sporting Kansas City versus San Jose Earthquakes at Children's Mercy Park at 9:30 p.m. But for me, if it has not happened already, which it should already have happened if you're listening to this, I'm gonna go with Charlotte FC upsetting at home New York Red Bulls, because New York Red Bulls has historically let down many people. I know their fan base is not happy right now. So just the fact that they were able to sneak into the playoffs is already a big deal. But yeah, I got Red Bulls in the wild card. Then I'm going to go Kansas City, who's on the up. They got healthy. They got a Johnny Russell back. I think, what's that guy's name? Dang it, the guy from Chivas. I'm forgetting his name now. Oopsie. Let me see if I could look it up real quick. Does he pop up? Yeah, Alan Polido. I think he came back. And Daniel Shalhoub, he's pretty consistent. So I'm going to say Sporting Kansas City comes out of the wild card game. Then from October 28th to November 12th at least, we got the first round in the Eastern Conference confirmed for those games. We got Orlando City at the 2 seed versus number 7 Nashville Soccer Club. I'm going to go Orlando City over Nashville. I'm going to take them. Let's go to game. They're going to go to game 3 for sure. Because these teams like to scrap. They play a lot of defense. In the next game, 3 versus the 6 seed, I'm going to go Atlanta. I think Atlanta is just a better team. I'm going to take them in 2 games. Although I think the Crew aren't going to go without a fight, but I think Atlanta's going to take it. Then in the next matchup in the East, the 4 seed Philadelphia and the number 5 New England Revolution. I think the Union are going to get fed up and then just take out all their anger on New England. They're going to take them to 3 games at least. But they still got to go to Foxborough. It's not an easy place to play on turf. In the Western Conference, I'm going to take Seattle at the number 2 over FC Dallas, number 7. FC Dallas had a good game on the last day of decision day, but I think Seattle just has a lot more experience. They're healthy right now, and I think Brian Spencer is going to get his guys together, and they're going to take them. They're going to take them out. They're going to take out Dallas. Number 3 LAFC versus number 6 Vancouver Whitecaps. I'm going to take Vancouver over the Whitecaps, just because. Then we got number 4 Houston versus Real Salt Lake. I'm going to take Houston Dynamo, who upset, I think it's fair to say, upset Inter Miami in the U.S. Open Cup. I think the Houston Dynamo got something cooking down there down there in Texas. So I think I'm gonna take Houston over Real Salt Lake. But yeah, and then I didn't mention St. Louis because they're gonna play the winner between Sporting Kansas City and San Jose, which I guess I'll take my guess if it happens. I'm gonna take St. Louis over Sporting Kansas City. St. Louis has just been on fire. I believe they are the first team in any expansion team in any American sport to finish first in their conference. So congrats to them.
Oh.
Then in the East, I also failed to mention, so FC Cincinnati is the number 1 seed. They're going to play Charlotte. I think FC Cincinnati, who were very close to going to the U.S. Open Cup final, and also won our current Supporters Shield winners, I'm going to take them over Charlotte. And then I'm not going to go any further because I don't want to spoil myself and be like, oh, I called all these and well now I gotta redo it, you know. So that's as far I'm gonna go the first round. That's all you're getting from me now. At some point, probably before the MLS Cup, we'll have either a podium show, or we'll just do our normal schedule program here on Rambling Runoff, and we'll talk about the MLS Cup final. How's that sound, Danny?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I will, for sure, try to catch some of these games.
Remember, they're on Apple TV.
Yeah, well, the highlights is what I mean.
Or I'll just send you the highlights. Yeah, the highlights should be good. But we still got a little bit of time to discuss. Danny, I know you don't know any of these teams. I know you can see on my notes that we have on our Google Doc that I marked in red who I got.
Yep.
But who do you think, if you could just guess off the top of your head, who is going to win in the best of 3 series?
You want me to go down the whole list?
Yes, please. You can just pick a name. You don't have obviously you don't have to explain anything. But
okay,
yeah.
I will go. FC Cincinnati, number 1 seed, of course. I will go. I like Nashville. How about Nashville? You know, I like my Columbus Crew. I'll go Columbus Crew. I like Philly.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I do Philly. And then in the West, I mean. Of course, number 1 seed, St. Louis. Just because I saw FC Dallas, I will say fuck those guys. I'll take the Seattle Sounders. And then because it'll spite you, I'll take LAFC. And then I'll take Houston.
Fuck you.
That's it.
All right, I see you, cuh.
Yeah, and then I guess for the wild card, I will take the Charlotte FC, and I will take the San Jose Earthquakes.
I don't like San Jose Earthquakes either. That's why I didn't pick them. But also, I think they squeaked into the playoffs, to my knowledge. Let me see. Where's the table at?
Bro, I mean, so did Miami in NBA last year, and you know they made it all the way to the finals. You never know.
That's okay. I'm glad you clarified that. I was about to tell you, Miami finished 14th.
No. Basketball, baby.
In the MLS.
Not MLS.
All right. No, yeah, the San Jose Earthquakes squeaked into the playoffs by 1 point in 9th place, beating out Portland. San Jose actually tied SKC with 44 points. And then, in the bottom table, like I said, Red Bulls snuck in with 40. Yeah, same thing. They tied on points, 43-43. New York at 8, Charlotte at 9. You know what was funny? I just like to point this out. DC United. So there's 15 teams in the East and 14 teams in Colorado. So one team in the East didn't get to play on the last day of the season, and it was DC. DC was in 9th place, but on the table it showed them they were eliminated.
Bruh.
Does that make it? It makes sense when it happens in the end, but for like a whole week, it looked weird. Yeah. They're in playoff contention, but they're eliminated.
Yeah, that's weird.
But it's because they weren't going to play.
Yeah.
And mathematically, they wouldn't be able to catch up because they weren't playing.
Yeah, they were already like mathematically eliminated from the remaining games and stuff.
Yeah, that's just funny. And then they fired their coach.
Yeah, always happens.
Yep, it'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, someone's got to pay.
But no, yeah, dude, it was Wayne Rooney. He was ousted. Rooney. And he already has a new job now, so it's okay.
Shout out.
But I think that's everything on the playoffs. Danny, do you have any questions in regards to the playoffs or soccer or anything that's not basketball?
No, I mean, I'm gonna definitely try to catch these games. I said that every time, but I'm a changed man. I saw it in person. I'm definitely at least watch the highlights and see. I'm gonna watch my Columbus Crew take the East.
All right. So, hey, you're not the only crew guy here. We got Alex from. Oh, dang it. He changed his name. I gotta look it up now. It was still City Crew, but now I gotta look it up because it bugs me. Because Alex is the homie, and yeah, he has a great show, by the way. You guys should go check him out. Let me see where we at. Because we also do Locker Soccer together on his programming. Dang, where is it at? Dang it. But yeah, let me see. Danny, can you stall really quick while I look for it? Yes. You do like very, very quickly. Just say something about soccer.
Yeah. So during the game, what I saw was an incredible amount of posturing, flopping. The stereotypes are all true. All in all, was still a fun game. I could not believe the amount of goals scored by FC Dallas on Galaxy. They should fire their goalie. But yeah, I mean, it was good enough to get me, excited about soccer, watching it in person. Incredibly expensive, the food and drink in there. It was crazy. But yeah, super fun. Glad Robert was able to hook me up. Yeah, hopefully, if the show ever pops off, we'll be able to, attend many more soccer and sports events. It'd be awesome.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, Alex's show is called Talk to Sports, by the way.
Talk to Sports. Go check out Alex. Shout out.
Yeah, he's a huge Columbus Crew fan, so yeah, go check him out.
Columbus Crew.
But yeah. Are you ready to move on now? I think we've already talked enough MLS for today. Sorry if it wasn't as too detailed, but I had to get on my soapbox about the playoffs a little bit, and I had to introduce it to Danny. So I hope everyone learned a little bit of something here today.
Yeah, thanks for spelling it out for me. Yeah, it's the start of the playoffs. We'll have some more info next week.
No, yeah, I got you guys. But yeah, let's move on to our next topic here. And Danny, I believe this is where you will be taking over the next 20 or so minutes. But of course, I will ask you questions because this is where I'm unknowledgeable. So, ladies and gentlemen, Danny Tan with his NBA Fantasy League. Danny, take the floor.
Yes. Yeah, so, if you guys aren't familiar with fantasy leagues in general, it's basically like an amalgamation. You're acting like, if you ever play 2K or FIFA, you're acting kind of like a general manager, taking the players in the league and drafting them, creating your own team, and seeing how they do in comparison with other people's teams. And usually, you can use websites like Yahoo Sports or ESPN, so on and so forth. And they'll have it all set up for you. You can run 10-team leagues, 12-team, 14, 16-team plus. They get pretty big. But yeah, it's probably the nerdiest thing you can do as a sports fan, because all it is numbers at the end of the day. But yeah, Robert, are you familiar with the way that drafting works or how a draft night works?
A little bit. From what I've seen and what I've heard, there's different ways of doing it. I don't know. I've seen some people roll dice.
Yeah.
I've seen people shoot darts.
Yep. Yeah. Some people do like field days. They go out. They'll like have dinner, have like a whole thing to determine the draft order, because you can definitely randomize it. But you can make it more fun by taking everyone in the league and doing something fun with it to determine the order. Like you said, throw darts, roll dice. Yeah.
I've seen people have like foot races, like they ran.
Yeah.
I would smoke you, by the way.
I've seen beer pong tournaments. Don't even start. I've seen like I said, field days. For the sport, kind of like a combine or a training camp, skills competition. I've seen that too. But yeah, usually what happens is, once your draft order is determined, you do a reverse snake. So number one picks, you go all the way to the last number, and then that's the first round, and it'll go back to the last person who picked, and then it'll go in reverse order to give that person in the last pick order a chance to get some of those good players that if it went in order 1 to 10 in that order each round, number 10 is going to get stiffed with not bad players, but not the best players that they could have gotten. Yeah, so yeah, I mean that's the basics of the draft. And once you get your team together, different sports do it different ways, but usually they separate it by statistical categories. For NBA cases, it's 3-pointers made, free throw percentage, points in total, blocks, rebounds. You want the highest number in all those categories. The only one that's different is turnovers. You want the lowest number. That makes sense to the game. But yeah, I mean, it's literally the nerdiest thing you can do. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, if you have any questions, Robert, let me know.
Well, of course
Otherwise,
I can I've never done one of these because a lot of the sports pages or whatever, internet sites, they make you pay, correct?
I think yeah. Well, some of them you have to pay.
Or sometimes there's a big pot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But usually that's determined by the group. I think all of like Yahoo and ESPN for sure. You can sign up and set up your leagues for free. They have now, with sports betting and stuff within your league, you can bet with the website, like, over and under and stuff. But privately within your own league, like our league, we do $100 pot, per person, or a pot with $100 entry. So then at the end of the season, the champion, they'll get, majority of the pot. Second place will get a portion of it, and then third place, in our case, they get the money back. But you can definitely split it up a different way. Yeah, but yeah, fantasy doesn't always have to involve money. It could just be a bunch of trash talk and fun. Yeah, that's part of it.
Okay. So you had an entry fee. How many people are in your league, by the way?
Yeah, this year we've got 14 people. Yeah, so it's $100 a person, and we set it up with a 70-30 split between first and second, and then third place just gets their money back. Yeah, that's how we set our league up.
Okay, and where is this site? Where is the league at?
Yeah, we use Yahoo. I think it's I've used ESPN before. I'm using it for football, fantasy football, but I think Yahoo has the easiest to navigate app. Their website is kind of trash. I like the ESPN website a little bit more, but typically, we're on the go. Everyone has a phone nowadays. I think the app is much better on Yahoo. So
the interface.
That's what we do. Yeah, the interface. Yeah, it's much easier to pick up. Look what's going on. Yeah, it's much more readable. It looks nice.
Okay. And who's in your league? Like, do you have any other friends or coworkers, or like just strangers?
Yeah. Oh, they're all friends. It's my friend's league, or it's my friend's league, and they're mostly his friends. Yeah, I got to know him. This is my I think it's my fourth year, entering this league. And it's all been pretty fun. I've gotten to know some of the guys. I met some of them in person. So I've been able to put the face to the name, but it's just fun trash talking, and just like this, the intention of sports betting is, well, one, to get money, but it's so that it makes it more entertaining when you're watching the games. There's a little bit of stakes to it. Yeah, it's just a fun thing to do overall.
All right. And so how did you guys decide a draft order? Did you have to run the 100-yard dash, or what? Fool, you came in last place, huh?
Damn, you trash talking already. You ain't even in the league. No, this league, they always do a randomized draft order. So there's a day where the commissioner, someone gets assigned the commissioner within the app, and they set up all the rules and stuff, basically. Because there's a bunch of options you can set up. They just you can randomize for the draft order so that everyone can prep knowing what draft number and order that they are. And then there's a separate day that you can set up to actually draft. You can do it on the same day if you want. You don't have to separate them necessarily. But then from there, pick your things. And this year I was 12th out of 14. Horrible. But just look at the draw there. Fuck you, dog. I think I did pretty good.
Swing first.
Fuck you.
All right. Well, who's on your team? Who did you get? Who'd you end up getting in the first round?
Yeah. Well, I could tell you in the first round I grabbed Damian Lillard.
All right. I see you, cuh. Damn.
Yeah. Might say. But I could tell you in the first round draft, in order for us, it went Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, which is surprising. I thought for sure someone else like Joel Embiid or Giannis would have gone second. Number 3 was Tyrese Halliburton, another surprise. These are great performers, but typically in the last 3 years, the top 3 have been, just like in the MVP race, Jokic, Giannis, and Joel Embiid. So I was surprised that these weren't. Yeah. Well, just statistics in general. These big guys, they put up great scoring numbers. They rebound.
Wait. I just noticed something. So the top players that were selected were the higher scoring players, but you somehow got Damian Lillard, who
at
for
12.
a majority of last season was one of the higher scorers, and you got him at 12. Man, what were the other people in your league smoking?
Yeah, well, it's they're like different strategies to go about because, once you're matched up with someone, that it's like almost impossible to win all categories, right? So a lot of people try to pick hey, I'm gonna focus on scoring, assists. I'm gonna, when you think of scoring and assist players, they're typically not, Jokic is unique on his own. They're typically not big guys who get rebounds as well. So they might give up rebounds and blocking. But they'll for sure, they'll build a team to try and for sure win scoring, 3-pointers, assists, guards, point forwards, those type of guys. So they, that just might have been the strategy of those guys before me. But there are also sneaky stat players that you might think are, just scorers, but on any given night they got 6 assists. It's not in double digits, but they've got a good stat, and that runs very consistently throughout the season. So I mean, Tyrese Halliburton is one of those guys. I just didn't expect him to go as high as he did. To me, it's crazy that you grab Halliburton over Joel Embiid or Steph Curry. That's crazy to me, but that's what someone grabbed.
Any of the big name players, yeah.
Yeah.
But so you got Damian Lillard.
Yes.
I'm assuming you have a 10 or 12 man roster.
Yes, yeah. So you are able to grab 15 people. On any given night, you're able to play 10. 13 people. On any given night, you're able to play 10. I have that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't know. You tell me. That's your league, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I think it's 14 players. Excuse me. 14 players. You're able to hold 14 at a time. Any night, you're able to play 10. So only 10 players' stats count on any given night where games are going on. And you have it depends on the league. You can change these things around. You can go up to 15, I think. But you could also have injury spots in case one of your players gets a short-term or a long-term injury. But they're going to come back for the season. You can move them to your injury list and then pick up another player to supplement. But yeah, if you don't mind, I can definitely run through some of the other players I grabbed.
No, yeah, I want to hear it. Can you at least can you list them and give them one good thing very quickly? I know you're gonna take 30 minutes.
Yes. So not in
analyzing each guy.
Oh come on, I'll go quick. Not in the same draft order, but I grabbed Damian Lillard, Anthony Edwards. Great guy, did great in FIBA. Looks like he's gonna be a superstar. I grabbed Jalen Brunson.
What team does he play for?
He plays for Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay, can you also name what team they play for as well?
Oh, yeah, well, Damian Lillard is backtrack. Damian Lillard, just went to Milwaukee. I think his pick and roll game is
Yeah.
gonna be great with Giannis. And Anthony Edwards, Minnesota. I got Jalen Brunson from the New York Knicks, great point guard. He's been doing great the past few years. I got Scotty Barnes from the Toronto Raptors. He's been consistent. Now without Fred VanVleet, I think he's gonna be able to put some more numbers up. Um, I got Zion Williamson from the New Orleans Pelicans. Hopefully, he'll be able to stay healthy and be dominant for the first time in basically his whole career. RJ Barrett, also from the New York Knicks, been doing great. He looks like he's gonna do better this season than last season. I got Jonas Valanciunas, center from the New Orleans Pelicans. His minutes are kind of gonna be eaten up by Zion coming back, but maybe they start. Maybe they start both of the guys, but move Zion to the 4. Incidentally, I got more Pelicans guys than I intended to, but that's just how the draft works. I got CJ McCollum, the point guard for the Pelicans, doing great. One of the big 3 down there. Then I got Jaden Ivey, last year rookie from the Detroit Pistons. I know he's probably going to have less minutes with Kate Cunningham coming back, but I think they're still going to invest quite a bit of time. They might move Cade to shooting guard to give them both some room on the floor. Then I got Sadiq Bey from Atlanta. Had to grab someone from Atlanta. I got Norman Powell from the Clippers, great role player. Another guy from Atlanta, I got DeAndre Hunter. And then just rounding it off, I got Bobby Portis Jr. from Milwaukee, and Trey Murphy III, who is injured right now, but I wanted to pick up because he's a great player. And he should only miss up to, I think, the holiday season. So only a handful of weeks, and he should be coming back. So I picked him up and put him on my injury list.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like you got a guy. I mean, I'm going to keep it a buck. It sounds like you got a lot of guys that are not going to see a lot of minutes, but hopefully in that short time they get something cooking.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what you're hoping for?
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys, I think if not half of them, if not all of them are got to see at least like half a game worth of minutes. And they're all hopefully solid contributors. I think that my top guys are going to do really well. Zion is kind of the centerpiece of my draft because I already know Dame, Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson. These guards are going to do really well. If Zion stays healthy and is able to put up even like average numbers, I think I'll do great. He for sure will be a 20-point scorer. He'll work great on rebounds. Despite his size, he's a great passer. Not to the degree of Jokic, but he's just a great team player. And I hope that he stays healthy, not just for him, but for my fantasy team.
Okay, I see you, cuz. But let me see. Do I got anything else for you? Kind of already went over who you think is gonna have a good season, but is there like playoffs? Like what about the regular season?
Yeah.
Once it ends, then what happens?
Yeah. So
how does this all end? Basically, how do you get a winner?
Basically, the fantasy ends when the regular season ends. So they set it up so that the playoffs start about It's 4 weeks before the regular season stops or regular season ends. So you get your seeding throughout the quote unquote fantasy regular season, and then 4 weeks out you do a bracket. In this case, I think it might be 5 weeks since we're a 14 team league. And it's just like bracket style going up, elimination, and then depending on seeding, the seeds just go with placement of total categories won and lost throughout the fantasy regular season. So you'll get like first through 14th place, and then they'll seed you, and then you'll go up and down the winners bracket and then losers bracket, and then you get a championship team, but same as normal tournament style, semifinals, quarterfinals, and then right into the finals. Yeah, but
okay, that sounds cool.
Yeah, but obviously it can't run into the postseason for any sport because some teams get eliminated, and you'd have to like redraft players, and it's a whole thing. So it'll end right at the end of regular season.
Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Dang it, I had a question and it skipped out of my head. Dang it. Dang flabbit. Gosh gone it.
Nabbit.
So what's the, to go back to the purpose, what's the prize at the end of this? How much, if you win, how much are you taking home?
I think if I win first place, let me do the math real quick.
Come on, mister, you're the math guy.
I ain't the math guy.
You
I
are
think
the
it's
math
about
guy.
$900, $910 for first place. And it is $390 for second, and then third place just gets their money back.
Gives the $100 back.
$100, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then and you know, some teams or some fantasy leagues they make a punishment for the loser. For us, we do
Yeah,
we do
I was
that.
about to say, do you guys have anything?
Yeah. So the loser has to buy the ring for the winner. And, you know, it's nothing crazy. You know,
A ring?
yeah, like a championship ring off of Amazon or whatever.
What the fuck?
For the winner.
You have just mentioned this. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, it's not, the money is really, you know, the bragging rights is number two, but yeah, the ring is part of that bragging rights.
Wow, I did not know there was a ring involved. So
Yeah.
wait, you just give him like a Cracker Jack ring?
Oh, come on, bro. I mean, you know what, like you could even look up on Amazon, you know, championship rings.
If I was in there, you're getting a Cracker Jack ring, bro.
Shut
Well,
your
I mean,
ass
first I
up.
have to find it.
Then I'll be commissioner next year. I'll ban you. Come
You're
on,
gonna
man.
ban me from the league? Oh, do you guys have a league name?
Yes, we do. It's called BDC. I have no idea what that means because it was set up before me, but that's what our league's called.
Oh, okay. Hey, you better not be getting us demonetized or banned, bro.
No. That's something else. No. Get your head out of the gutter, Robert. I was thinking about that.
Hey, I'm just making sure. No, I'm not. The fuck? I'm just making sure, bro. But yeah, man, sounds all good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll join one. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, we
I
could
don't know.
definitely do one next year.
I don't want to gamble, bro. It's a sin, bro, and I don't want to gamble my life savings.
Come on,
away,
man.
bro.
We don't even have to put any money in it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just dicking around. But yeah, maybe I'll guess. I don't know. I would have to do some extensive research.
Yeah.
When I have time.
Yeah. I mean, you can always, you know.
You were naming guys I've never even heard of. Who?
I mean, okay. It's because you're not into NBA. A lot of these guys are huge names, like Anthony Edwards. You know Anthony Edwards, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, obviously. CJ
He's
McCollum, Jaden Ivey might not be, but he's a rookie from last year. These are all like starters, or at one point they will be starters for their team, this season.
All right. So you got a lot of up and comers on your team, basically.
No, I have like
Oh,
one,
okay. I don't know nothing then.
maybe two, but I think you're just not in the NBA sphere, which is understandable. There's way too fucking many people in the NBA.
All right. But do you have anything else to add about your NBA fantasy league?
No, I mean, I hope I win. Jesus.
I know. I hope you do win.
Yeah.
Yo, Applebee's on Danny. Yeah.
You know, if I win,
Cheesecake Factory.
If I win, I will take you to one of those places. TGI Fridays, whatever.
You mean the same way you were supposed to take a shot that one time?
Oh God. Yeah, we still have to do that, huh? We still can. Can.
It's okay. We could toss it. It's okay.
No. Next time we go out.
Now your coworkers have to know that you drink one shot and that makes you a party animal.
God. You're so lame, dude.
Cheesecake Factory. No, Olive Garden.
Olive Garden?
Sure.
Damn, sick. That'd be sick.
Ski. Some Olive Garden, some Cheesecake Factory, some Lucille's.
Lucille's.
Or if not, we could head down to Chinatown and go to Howlin' Ray's.
Howlin' Ray's would be sick. Yeah, we can do whatever.
All right,
fun,
for sure.
but-
You heard it here.
If I win,
it here first, folks.
If I win, we will do.
Danny
one of
Tan
those
will
things.
put up his $900 and take the Rambling Runoff staff with. I mean, it's just me and him. and we will go eat out to celebrate.
Yes, we will.
And then Danny will immediately use the rest of the money to pay like his cell phone bill or something.
Facts.
He's like, I gotta pay internet, I gotta pay light, I gotta pay
Yep.
water.
Yep. Credit card, I gotta do everything.
No, I feel you on that one.
Yep.
But yeah, I think you answered all or most of the questions about the NBA Fantasy League. Yeah, I think
Yep.
so. Yeah, we're good.
Yep. Unless you have any
Alrighty
more
then.
questions for me.
Nah, I think we're good there. Yeah, I think we're good because we're already kind of over our time limit here. But yeah, I think we're gonna go into the warm up now. Are you ready for that?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So for the warm ups topic this week, we're gonna be talking a little bit about the MLB, in which the MLB playoffs are all over the place. And as of this recording, we should be already looking forward to the World Series, due to the fact that the Texas Rangers have already qualified. We're just waiting to see the victor between the Phillies and the Diamondbacks, which I will look up very quickly. As of this recording, they are still playing, so we do not know who will be the NLCS winner yet. They are currently tied 2-2 in the top of the fifth as of this recording. But what I would like to focus on is the fact that the MLB playoffs have just been all over the place in regards to none of the top teams made it far. And in this case, a lot of them were swept and or looked stupid in their run. The MLB expanded its format from 10 teams to 12 teams, by the way, a couple years ago. I think maybe last year. And yeah, it's just kind of been weird. 4 of the best teams now get a bye, and the rest play in a 3-game series. It used to be there would be just a wild card game, then you go into the best of 3 series. But that has long been gone. Another problem with this is that you have games in the middle of the day. So, for example, the Tampa Bay Rays had the least attended playoff game this year, and probably the least attended game overall, because there was like nobody in the stadium. But the game was like at 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. Eastern in Florida, obviously. And yeah, there was like nobody there. But yeah, this playoff format was not friendly to any of the top teams, but friendly to a team like the Twins, who have made it to the playoffs, but have struggled to win games that have been, in long series. So they were, Danny, hear this out. The Minnesota Twins, in the past couple of years that they've made it to the playoffs, up until now, went 0-for-18 in their last couple playoff appearances.
Jesus. That is tough.
The odds of that happening are less than 1%.
That's crazy. That's like the previous 16-year drought of the Kings, Sacramento Kings, not making it to the playoffs at all. That's insane. But making it to the playoffs and not getting through the first round, that many years? Sheesh.
Not even just that, winning a game.
Oh, winning a game.
0-18.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I did not understand that. Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
That's
So,
horrible.
I mean, this newer format helps out like the Twins, because then basically the point is that the teams that get a bye get a break, a 5-day break.
Yeah, they get a little
basically.
rest before
And-
the fun starts up.
Because, it kind of makes sense. You get rewarded for your good performance in the regular season.
Yeah, but isn't that what the
where the
seeding
problem-
matchup is for?
Yeah, no. Yeah, you get... Yes, the answer is yes. But
So
you would think mathematically the better team, the team that... Like, a lot of teams this year went like 92 or more wins.
yeah.
At some point in the playoffs went 0-7. And the teams in the first round bye went 1-5.
That's crazy.
Because I think where the problem lies is that it helps the pitchers out who need rest on their arms,
Yeah.
but it messes up the momentum of the hitters who, after 5 days, if they were coming in hot into the playoffs,
Yeah, with the
lost
same
the rhythm.
Exactly.
Because baseball, you're basically on the road like every single day.
Yeah.
Even when you're at home, you're basically at the ballpark every day.
Yeah.
You get maybe 1 or 2 days rest in between.
Yeah, it kind of messes with your schedule a little bit. You go from
Yeah.
like practice game, you're in rhythm, like you said. You're able to like, hey, I'm feeling really good. Use that momentum, like you said, and roll into the next game. But then when you use that rest up, like what if you time out like a workout differently and you feel a little bit more sore or this and that? You're not feeling 100% by the time you get to when it counts the game time.
Yeah, because, for example, the Orioles got swept.
Damn.
How is that even possible? I think they had the second best record in baseball, and they mathematically and generally were the favored victors in this, but they were not. The Dodgers also got swept by the D-backs, who, if we were in the old format, the D-backs wouldn't even be in the playoffs. So it mixes it up a bit. And then the D-backs also even beat the Brewers, who were a really good team. So the D-backs beat the Brewers, then they swept the Dodgers. So it doesn't make sense. In regards to the D-backs and the Dodgers series, the Dodgers only scored 6 runs in 3 games.
Oh my god.
So for game 1, 2 runs. Game 2, 2 runs. And in the game 3, 2 runs as well. Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman are most likely going to finish in the top 3, top 5 of MVP voting.
Damn.
In the series against the D-backs, they went a combined 1-21.
That's crazy.
I think it was Mookie. Okay, I don't remember. It might have been Mookie. I want to say Mookie Betts that got the lone hit between the two of them. Freddie Freeman, who knocks in doubles like nothing, went cold. It was that bad.
Pour one out for
Dave Roberts.
all the Cholos who are hurting right now. I mean, well, it's happened a couple weeks ago, but...
No, yeah, dude, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager, says the 5-day break isn't ideal, which also the Orioles manager had similar sentiments. But, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you get rewarded for your good play, but it's whatever. Also, in regards to the playoffs, you get the Phillies and the Braves, where the Braves were the highly favored team, and the Phillies got heated because the Braves are a really good team, and they were just making outstanding play after play until they got tired of it, and they started making fun of Bryce Harper, and they're like, nope, we're not taking that. And then, of course, the Phillies had to clap back, and the Phillies took out the Braves. Even though everyone thought the Braves, who were the better sluggers, were going to just knock them out. But that was not the case. Excuse me. So, would you think that teams should just aim for the wild card spot instead of trying to finish in first?
I mean...
teams with rest, as of this recording, as of when I got these stats, are 4-10.
Damn. I got a question, Rob. How does the
what's your
seeding work, or the matchups work? Because if the top seeds rest, do the top seeds play each other?
No. So what it was, and I know it is a little bit confusing, but of course in sports, it only makes sense when it's working.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. So I believe what it is, basically each team that wins their division goes on automatically.
Oh, I see. Oh.
So
yeah. So bye is just to go past the first round. But
yes.
So and then the 5 days, is that applied to before the second round starts?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
So, because there's no more wild card, it's just the best 2 out of 3 in the first round.
I see what you're saying.
And then whoever was the better team, whoever won the division, and I think the next best team from the conference in the divisions moves on. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that's what it was. I know it might be. It's a little bit of a weird description, but that's more or less how it works. Let me see if they still have the bracket up on MLB Instagram, because yeah, that's more or less how it goes down in Major League Baseball. But yeah, that's why I'm like so confused. How would having time off, kill it for you? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I could see it. Like you're in a, like you said, you're in a rhythm. Like the system that you're working. You're like, okay, this day I get a rest. This day I go out. I'm ready to perform. And then when you fall into like a rest period, you gotta warm up a little bit. Sometimes it takes like a game or two to shake off the rust.
Okay, I got it. So it was the 1 and the 2 seed get the bye for each conference, and then 6. So the 3, 4, 5, and 6 seeds play in the first round.
Gotcha.
And the 1 and the 2 seeds get the bye.
Okay.
Oh, so I see. For example, for this year, it was the Dodgers and the Braves that got the first round bye.
Gotcha.
And the NLCS, and then the ALCS, it was the Orioles in first and Houston in second.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first round is technically a wild card round, but it's not just a one game anymore. It's best 2 out of 3.
I see what you're saying.
And then in the ALDS, it's best 3 out of 5, and after that we get best out of 7. If I am correct.
Yeah. I see. Okay. I think my mistake was thinking
it is best out of 7.
That the 5 days was applied separately from the bye, but that's what it is. It's just the bye that is the reward.
No, yeah. So I know it's a little bit baseball's confusing. For what do you want me to do?
Yeah. No. You explained it correctly. I just got confused.
Check your phone. I sent you a visual representation.
So I saw it too. I looked it up.
But yeah, that's basically how it works. And then one other stat: under the old format, the better teams advanced with 51% of a chance. Now it's like at 37%.
Sheesh.
Which is just crazy. I mean, it's only been like a 2-3 year span that this has happened. Not that this has not happened before, but I wouldn't be surprised if the MLB in the next 2 to 3 years, if this continues, restructures the playoffs again.
Yeah.
Because I remember when it was only 8 teams. Because yeah, that was when they would have like the wild card, and even before that, they would have the wild card before the wild card. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And the reason why they would have the wild card before the wild card, well, it wasn't even a wild card. It would be the tiebreaker game. So you would, let's say you tied for the wild card spot or in your division, and then you still had to play for that one spot. So you play the higher seed, or I forgot how they would determine it, but someone would host, and whoever won that game moved on to the wild card game.
Yeah.
So those were usually exciting, but that's just the way that they have it set up nowadays. So it is what it is. But I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. Sorry if that was not very informative in any way, but I just wanted to point that out, that maybe it's a little bit busted.
Maybe.
But yeah, if you're a baseball fan, yeah, it looks like the Texas Rangers are going to the World Series. They defeated the Astros in 7 games. They beat them 11-2, I believe. Let me see. I got it right here. MLB. 11-4 was the final score in Game 7. But yeah, the Diamondbacks and the Phillies are currently battling it out as of this recording. So we will see who will be representing the NLCS in the World Series. But Danny, do you have anything else to say or add in regards to this topic? Do you have any questions?
Nope. Sad that the Dodgers didn't go through, but oh well.
It's okay. They chose sadness. But you ready to move on? You ready?
Yes,
let's move on.
Sir.
Alrighty. We are currently now in the rundown of Rambling Runoff. For this week's rundown, I'm just going over the NWSL first. The playoffs are currently in the swing of things. I remember last week I mentioned it in the rundown as well. We had the first quarterfinal matchups where Seattle's OL Reign defeated Angel City 1-0. I believe it was about in the 80-some minute. They were able to get the lone goal of the game and move on. In the Eastern Conference, the North Carolina Courage took out the New Jersey New York Gotham. Gotham FC. Oh, no, excuse me. I read that backwards. Gotham defeated the North Carolina Courage 2-0. So New Jersey, New York moves on. And so now on Sunday, November 5th, in the semis, the Portland Thorns will take on Gotham FC at 7 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network. And then the San Diego Wave will take on the OL Reign. Why don't I have this written down? Gosh darn it. When you write down all these notes and then you forget something. Do you ever hate when that happens, Danny?
Happens every freaking time. I walk into the room, forget what I was doing, go back, write it down, go in. So why did I write this down?
Yeah. The OL Reign will take on the San Diego Wave on the 5th as well at 6:30 p.m. What channel is it on? I don't know. I guess I must have deleted that part of the information. No, it's on CBS or Paramount. What the frick? One of those two. Yeah, one of those two. CBS or Paramount Plus. Because it has it labeled on here awkwardly. And yeah, then the championship game will be November 11th. And yeah, you'll find that on CBS and Paramount Plus as well. At Snapdragon Stadium, by the way. Moving on now. In NASCAR news, Christopher Bell wins the Forever 400 presented by Mobile One, not sponsored, at Homestead Miami Speedway. Joe Gibbs Racing driver Christopher Bell rallied from a frustrating race start to lead the final 16 laps of Sunday's Forever 400 at Homestead Miami to earn a second straight appearance in the Championship 4. Danny, are you familiar with the Championship 4?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So it's like normal racing style. So it's kind of like playoffs for them where you add up the points on where you finish in the race.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
So it gets very desperate at these times. And now we're at the championship, or we're starting to get people into the Championship 4. The next race will be Sunday, October 29th. NASCAR Cup Series race Xfinity 500 at Martinsville Speedway, 2 p.m. Eastern on NBC. So yeah, we're getting to the literal home stretch of the season for NASCAR. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Last week I also mentioned the WNBA Finals were underway as we were recording. I think the next day, the last game occurred in which the Las Vegas Aces claimed the WNBA Finals trophy by beating the New York Liberty 70-69 in Game 4. The Aces clinched the series and their second consecutive championship. They are the first team to go back-to-back since the 2001-2002 Los Angeles Sparks. Aja Wilson, who completed a tremendous postseason run with 24 points and 16 rebounds in Game 4, was named Finals MVP. She averaged 21.3 points, 12.5 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks per game in the finals. Danny, were you able to catch any of the highlights of this game by any chance?
I saw a couple of, most of it was a celebration. But the Aces were just, it was a close game, but it just felt like they were dominant throughout the whole thing. Kelsey Plum, killed it. But, congratulations to them. The Aces are one of two super teams. I think the Liberty are arguably another super team. 3.
No, yeah,
the Liberty and the Sky.
I was watching the Pat McAfee show, and he had Kelsey Plum, and even Pat McAfee was like, the New York Liberty actually were down in the dumps, and they stacked their team just to get to that point.
Yeah.
But it was a nail biter of a game, considering I remember when we had recorded our last episode, I had said the Las Vegas Aces are going to win, but I immediately was shown a stat that the Las Vegas Aces are not good when they play in New York. So I was a little bit worried. They lost Game 3, and then, they were down by 7 points for a majority of the game, and then just little by little, they were making shots. New York Liberty were not doing anything.
Yeah. you know what I mean though. It's like even when they're down, it's like the Golden State Warriors. They could be down by 15, and you feel like they're not out of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it was scrappy though. It was very scrappy.
They feel so stacked. It's like even from like double-digit deficit, you feel that they can come back and take the game away.
And they had two of their main starters hurt out of the lineup. It was as they say, squeaky bum time. Which it was, because I mean it was a one point game. The New York Liberty had the ball. They brought it down the court. I think they weren't getting an open look, so the coach called a timeout with like 6 or 8 seconds left. They inbounded the ball. I think Vandersloot was getting doubled, or she was getting super man-to-man pressed. They passed it out to her teammate. She throws up the shot for a 3. Air ball. Game's over. Las Vegas Aces are your 2-time champs. But hey, they had a good crowd there. I will get on a soapbox real quick. People be complaining that, and I think that WNBA players will tell you the quality is not there. But also, I don't feel ESPN or any of these other major sports companies are doing the WNBA any service on promoting the game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, do you have the same sentiment?
I mean, I guess that's part of what like Kobe was working toward, right? Just getting more eyes and shit on it.
Yeah. Like they know the play. It's not the best.
I mean,
like,
but
I know they're not dumb.
It's a different ball game as well. I mean, it's still basketball, but
yeah,
it's just played in a different way.
Yeah.
It's still extremely entertaining. They have incredible shooters and still some tricky skills and basketball moves that I would say rival the NBA in terms of ball handle. But yeah, it is a different game.
And I know Shaquille O'Neal pointed this out. He's like, the girls' game is good, but they need the dunk.
Yeah, honestly, I mean,
they just need
that's part of it.
The slight entertainment.
There's only a handful of players in the WNBA that are able to dunk, but I mean that's part of it. To get those electric moments in, the dunk is always an easy crowd pleaser.
No, but yeah, I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. Congratulations to the Las Vegas Aces. They just had their championship ceremony. They're now back-to-back champs. I believe they're returning a lot of their starters, so we're gonna see if they're gonna go for the 3-peat. If not, maybe take a break next year, and come back and try again. I mean, it's still a dynasty. But yeah. One last thing on our rundown list. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, I almost choked. We got the NHL, which as of this recording are currently doing something called Frozen Friendly, which is all 32 teams, 16 games, one night, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN Plus, as of this recording. So it's already over, but I just wanted to point that out because I've never heard of this. Apparently this is the first time they ever do this. So there's just a bunch of NHL games going on, and I'm bringing this up too because I promised to do more NHL stuff. So here you go, NHL. This is what you got. But Danny, do you have anything else to add in regards to the rundown?
That's all I got.
Sorry, I had to drink some water real quick. But all right, are you ready to do the outro?
Yes.
Are you ready? I'm gonna start playing the music in a bit. Alrighty then. Thank you for listening to Rambling Runoff. If you're listening on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and the like button as well. If you're listening on Spotify for podcasters, Amazon Music, Apple Music, or even Google Podcasts, please give us a follow, comment, like, whatever type of format they have on there. Just do it. Make sure it's positive for us. We really appreciate it. If you want to hear more from us on social media, you can follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Rambling Runoff. We're also at Rambling Runoff on Instagram, and sometimes on TikTok you'll find us there for Rambling Runoff. If you'd like to support us, you can go to Spotify for podcasters and give us a donation of $1. We would really appreciate it. I've been your host, Robert Rios. For Danny Tan, my co-host, I'd like to say thank you, see ya, and have a nice day. Peace out.
Peace.
Woo!